Oi. So I watched S&Man the other night. It's a documentary film about voyeurism and underground horror and that sort of thing. I picked it up because the director, or the guy that made this doco, is J.T.Petty, and I really enjoyed his sort of straight films, his horror films. This is the first doco that I know that he's done, but I do enjoy his other films, so I thought I'd pick it up. And it's basically about voyeurism and underground horror and that sort of thing. He tells you at the start that it's actually turned into a documentary. He didn't intend. He was going to do it about a voyeur that was caught in his hometown years ago, and he was going to go back and talk to him, but that didn't pan out. And along the way, he sort of talked to a whole bunch of quite unusual underground horror directors and people that work in underground horror. You'll see some names that you would have seen around the place: Beelzebub, and I can't think of the name of the eye company. Anyway, Wild Eye Releasing, I think they're in it, and there's a few other ones. Anyway, basically, he's talking to all these guys about voyeurism and their films, and he comes across, it sort of ends up centering around this guy that makes these S&Man films, and he sort of does some quite unusual things, and it's hard to tell how much of it is real and how much of it he's making up. The S&Man character, he basically follows random women around day to day and films them at work, and going into their house and all that sort of things. And it's basically him invading their space without them knowing it, and it's kind of creepy. There's a lot of creepy stuff in this movie. If you're into underground horror, and it's worth picking up. It's not the greatest documentary I've ever seen. It's sort of it's not a strong documentary, but it's got enough interesting moments in it to be worth checking out. I got a little bit out of it, and it was interesting to see some of these little indie underground horror makers, how they make their films and that sort of thing. It's all pretty loose sort of stuff, as you could imagine. But yeah, look, if you like documentaries and obviously you like underground horror and stuff, it's worth a show. It's worth a watch. You're not going to get your mind blown, but it's definitely worth watching. So yeah, J.T. Petty's S&Man. Check it out. See ya.